Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of V-Time, episode 104. We got nothing but sword boys for you.
Yeah.
That is literally it. We got a little bit of news that's kind of somber in the sense of Bushiroad and its events, but for the most part, nothing but sword boys and a little bit of gacha here and there.
Yep.
Other than that, that's about it. So it's going to be an interesting episode. But before that, if you're interested in buying any cards from TCG Player, please use our affiliate link down below.
Your purchases through this link help support the channel so we bring more great videos like this straight to you guys.
And with that scripted part of the way, let's go straight into leaks of all the Touken Ranbu. Starting us off with some interesting double rares from the booster set.
Yep.
So first off, we got Higekiri. It's a grade 2 that has a simple effect. Continuous rearguard guardian circle. If Hizamaru is on your front row, rearguard or guardian circle, this unit gets 5k power and 5k shield. This counts during your opponent's turn as well.
Yep.
So, what about Hizamaru, Alex?
It's literally the exact same effect except for his Higar.
I said it. You could have listened.
I was listening for the name of this one. The other card that he said, if it's on the board, it also does the exact same effect.
So basically, they're 15k attackers and 10k shields if properly used, which could be very useful, but the fact of the matter stands that you need to see both.
Yes.
Moving on. Excuse me. PlayStation. Moving on. We have a promo. And the only one that, outside of the gacha, this is the only other card that we're going to cover that's not Touken Ranbu. So let's enjoy in it. We got Witch of Moon Rabbits Rubinia. It's a grade 2 promo. When this unit, auto. When this unit is placed on rear guard, counter +1, choose a card from your hand, put it into your soul, and draw a card. Honestly, I can see it being used.
Which build?
Both.
Really?
Bastion less because you want more grade 3s, but it's a nice soul engine if you really need it. More Hex Orb, definitely, just because it's a soul engine that the Hex Orb does not have.
Oh, and you do have counter charge over Soul Blast too, so.
Which means you can kind of, juggle your resources, but at the same time, CB is like, do you really want to use it?
I can see that.
If at any point Hex Orb gets a card that's a free counter charge or free soul charge, a free soul charge, I think it's going to be ran immediately, just so because of the amount of Soul Blast effects in Hex Orb.
Yeah, I can see that.
All overall, a very decent card. Back to the Sword Boys.
Oh, yes. Kenshin Kagemitsu. Auto rearguard at the end of the battle that this unit boosted cost. Counterblast 1, put this unit into your soul. Draw a card, choose one of your units, and it gets power +2 until the end of turn.
I want to apologize for my partner's very robotic behavior. He is not a morning person.
Not a morning person and damn allergies.
So I'll be the color and the entertainment for today's episode. Overall, it's a fine card.
Yeah.
It replaces itself, it builds soul, and in a certain build, it gets you to that nice power threshold that you need if you swing for it properly, which I never did.
I mean, Philip loves those +2s.
Hey, no. Hold up. When we get to the card, I'll explain why this card is actually good being a +2.
Okay.
But before we get to that card, we just got to cover a PG real quick. We got Hakusuna Yoshimitsu. It's basically a grade 1 PG and has the whole PG effect of, if you have 2 or more cards in your hand, you have to discard, which means if you don't have 2 or more cards for your hand, it's a free PG.
Yep.
Simple, straightforward. Now, let's go into the ride line that I'm going to explain the grade 1s for.
All right, so we got... Oh, boy, I'm going to lean in for this one. Kasen... I'm not going to pronounce his name.
Kasan Kanesada.
There you go. When you is rode upon by the grade 1 of the ride line, choose one of your vanguards and it gets power +10,000 until the end of turn. And then continuous on rear guard, it gets power +2.
We're reading the starter.
Yes?
We're reading the starter.
Oh, starter, my bad. Well,
we're reading the starter.
Spoiler alert for when we get to grade 1. Auto when rode upon, draw a card.
Jesus. You see a starter. We read the starter name. You start reading a complete different effect. It's not even a starter name. It's not even clicking in your head.
I'm so used to seeing text on the bottom going to the card on top.
Anyway, that's the starter. Now for the grade 1. And as with the trial deck, all these have the same name with just a different prefix at the end. So prefix, regardless.
Yes.
We got Kasa and Kasanada. Sento, just like with the other trial deck or ride line, you're going to see a theme. But this effect, auto when this unit is rode upon by Kasa and Kasanada Toku, the grade 2 version of this card, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets power 10k until the end of turn, making a 20k attacker on Vanguard on grade 2 turn. Its other ability is continuous rearguard during your turn. This unit gets fire 2k, making it a 10k booster attacker. We've seen this effect multiple times, so honestly, not bad. Top effect.
Actually, that one's a little bit better than the one we've seen before because at least this one's still a booster. Like Dragon Empires can only work on attacking.
Correct, but Brent Gates can work on both.
Yes.
Granted, you need to be at least a Dark Knight, but how hard is that in Brent Gate?
Yeah, but this one has like literally nothing. It just does it.
Exactly. Now the grade 2.
Kasen Kasanada Toku. Auto when this unit is rode upon by Kasen Kasanada Okabe. Kamawa.
Oh my god, man. Disgrace to all the Japanese.
Look, man. Allergies and sleep. Soul Charge 1. Choose one of your Vanguards. It gets power plus 5 until you end turn. Continuous rearguard during your turn. This unit gets power plus 2,000.
12Ks are shit. That's all I gotta say. 12Ks are shit.
Are you sure you don't want to make it a 14 with the grade 2?
That's the only reason, like, it might be... No, I don't see it even being ran because of that, because you need the grade 1 to give it 2K. So it's never going to be a 14. So yeah, 12Ks are still shit. The ride line effect is actually good. Because now we get to the main grade 3, Kasan Kasanada Kiwame. That's how you say it. Jesus Christ. Act Vanguard once per turn costs Soul Blast 1, rest any number of your rear guards for each unit rest by this unit by this unit's cost. This unit gets power 5k until the end of turn. Now we've noticed a lot of power buffs from the grade 1 to the grade 2 and all that. So why do you need all these power buffs? Well, we got our first actual Dimension Police card in all honesty.
Yep.
Continuous Vanguard during the battle that this unit attacked. If this unit's power is 30k or greater, when your opponent will call cards from his or her hand to guard and circle, they must call 2 or more at the same time. We've seen this effect multiple times, but now it's restricted behind the 30k beater.
Yep.
So, overall, it's not good. Like, after playtesting it, it's actually not that good.
I mean, most of the time, your opponent's either PG in or they're taking the Vanguard.
I mean, if they PG, that's 3 cards out of their hand, which is not bad. But the fact of the matter stands, like, in the early game, they're just going to take it. Mm-hmm. So the whole reaching the 30 threshold is pointless. And then in the late game, like you said, they can either PG it or throw just enough cards out of hand. Like, it's really not that threatening.
I mean, the power it has. If they're not PG and then they're guarding it, they're already using 2 more cards anyways.
You're not wrong. And on top of that, the trial deck one we saw actually pluses a lot. Mm. This one doesn't at all. So you're very restricted on keeping your resources, and not a lot of them want to be rested. Because if you rest your stuff and you can't restand it, what's the point? I will say, this is the one thing. Yeah, I know I foreshadowed. This is the one thing I do want to say that I want to tie in the grade 1. Mm. If you ride a grade 3, you gain 5k. It's an 18k. You need 10k more power somehow, so you rest 2 rear guards.
Yes.
So you're at 28. You're 2k away. If you swing with a column and use the grade 1 and give the Vanguard 2k, you reach that magical 30k number.
Yeah.
That's a combo that can exist. Of course, you can Persona Ride against 10k. You can do other stuff. You can put a booster behind it to get in essential power.
Yes.
So with that out of the way, let's look at some of the main grade 2s triple rares. Literally codes 01 to 04. Like, these are going to be the main cards that people are going to probably be running in for the builds. And of course, we're going to start with one of the best ones ever.
Mikazuki. Munechika?
Munechika.
That.
There we go.
Hey, I tried.
You tried.
You knew this was coming whenever we started talking about Touken Ranbu names. Like, you knew this was going to happen.
Oh yeah, but I expected more from you.
Auto rearguard once per turn. When this unit attacks, perform all the effects below according to the number of cards in your damage zone. 3 or more, this unit gets power plus 5. 4 or more, you get to look at the top card of your deck and put on top or bottom. 5 or more, cost Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, and stand this unit.
Honestly, really good. Like 15k, which means it hits. Looking at the top card is always nice. And then a restander. Like I've said,
80% of the time you're going to get the second skill. It's the first and second skill off. Like if unless you're going for the win turn or you're in a really tight spot, you're not going to get the restand off. But I mean, restanding late game is really good, especially when you persona ride. But most of the time, you can expect a stacked top card of your deck, and being able to look at the top card of your deck and put on top or bottom for a trigger is always good.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's look at number 2. We got Odenta Mitsuyu. Mitsuyu. There we go.
Now I'm starting to make you stumble.
I mean, they're hard names regardless. I'm just actually giving a damn and
I'm trying.
Auto rearguard. When this unit attack hits, if you persona roll this turn, counterblast 1 and heal 1 damage from your damage zone, which means you probably heal the counterblast. That's probably never going to happen. Persona riding is already hard. You need to see the cards. Granted, in the trial deck one, you can probably do it consistently because you have that many, look at the top card, put it on top, yada, yada, yada. But overall, it's just going to be hard. And then you also got an opponent has to let it hit, which they probably will not let it hit.
No, unless you have a Vanguard that's a threat. I'm aware of enough threat for that to hit.
I will say, with the way things are going, I'm not going to be surprised if a ride line in Touken Ranbu that gets introduced later introduces some sort of, hey, attacks that should hit regardless. Because we're going to move on to this next card, and it works amazingly with the ride line we mentioned a little while ago.
Yes. Juzumaru.
Can do it.
Soon.
You can do it.
Suntetsu?
Tsunetsugu.
That.
There we go.
Auto rear guard at once per turn. Cost. Counterblast 1, rest this unit. And counterblast 1 and rest one of your other units. And rest itself for the cost. Right?
Counterblast 1, rest this, and one of your other units.
There you go.
That's English. I can't defend you on that one.
Choose one of your other choose one of your opponent's units and it gets minus power plus 5 until the end of turn. If you persona road this turn, stand all of your rear guards.
That is English. I can't. That is English.
Moving on. It's a good card. You minus your opponent's power.
Hold up.
You're only going to use...
No, hold up. I want to say some stuff about this.
Okay, go ahead.
Because it's honestly decent. Like the ride line we mentioned before. You rest a number of rearguards to give it power, and then you save 2 of them with this card to rest them, neg your opponent 5k, and then restand all your units.
Yes.
You have to persona ride to do that combo, but honestly, it's a really good combo.
And it's really good in the other one ride line because, rest everything, even though you just said it.
Pretty much. All right. Moving on. We got the last triple rare big card from the booster set. We got Onimaru Kunitsuna. Auto rearguard. When this unit attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, costs Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 until the end of battle. This unit gets power 5k, critical plus 1. At the end of battle, put this unit on the bottom of your deck. So it's a 15k double critical. It's
okay.
Like, there's no way to actually power up your units consistently right now that we know of. And there's some decent boosters to make these cards big. But at the same time, if you don't see those cards by itself, it's not doing much. Yeah. Unless you put 100 million on it, and then it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
And it's triple critical.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Anyway, speaking of overtriggers. The top effect. It is the top effect. This is a special overtrigger.
You got this name.
Kashu Kiyomitsu Shinken Hisatsu.
That.
There we go. And as you probably noticed,
it's a trigger order.
It's a trigger order. So,
it's an additional effect when you drive check it. It's during your turn. All of your units get critical plus 1. So,
yep.
It's a lot of damage. This effect as an order when played. Resolve this effect as when you play it as an order. Choose one of your Vanguards. It gets critical plus 1 until the end of turn. And if you have 5 or more cards in your damage zone, all of your units get power plus 10.
That is dangerous. Like, being an order, that means you can actually activate it. Like, orders are nice 50k shields in hand, but now that you can actually use it and it has a very decent effect, not bad.
And certain decks really wish they had an order trigger like this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, man, Stoic would love to, add this to their hand instead of calling it to rear guard.
Yeah, you're not wrong. All right. We're moving into some promo territory for Touken Ranbu. We got 4 promos that are honestly kind of decent and kind of not, and I think we're missing something for one of them. Or maybe we're not. When we get there, you guys can tell us. But starting us off, we got a grade 3 promo. Ochidori Yunmonyi. Auto rearguard. When this unit attacks, +1, activate one of the following effects. Until the end of battle, this unit gets 5k. Until the end of battle, your opponent cannot intercept. Choose an opponent's rearguard in the same column as the unit being attacked and retire it. It doesn't have any clause to say use all of them, so it basically is +1, choose one of these effects and do what you need to do. There's one effect that combos really good with another promo that we're going to mention, but for the most part, the whole intercept part is useless, and the 5k is kind of nice, making an 18k beater.
Yeah.
Retiring is probably what you're going to be doing for the most part.
Yeah, but though you had to be like a... Oh, no, this one doesn't have a restriction like that.
No, it's just swing and do. Now, this is the grade 2 that we need some help with, because I think we're missing something.
Yes, that's Murakumo Go. Yes. Act, drop zone, cost, +1, choose one of the following. If you have a Samidare Go on your rear guard, call this card to an open rear guard. If you have that card in your soul, put this card into your soul and soul charge 1.
So we might have gotten this card and it wasn't properly translated. We might have not have. I have no idea. But we're still waiting on the Samidare Go. And when we get it and see what it does, this card might be useful. Until then, we have no idea because this card is basically a vanilla.
Yes.
Moving on. We got Ichimoyi Norimune.
Man, this card's MVP.
This is MVP in both the decks we've tried and probably in any other decks coming down the road. Because it has a very simple continuous effect. Back row rear guard during your turn. If you have 4 or more units, this unit gets boost and power 5k. Only works in the back row. I think in one of the videos you gave it 5k in the front row. But doesn't matter. Regardless, it's a 15k booster. We've seen this in Cater Century. And, it's just honestly a good effect. A 15k booster is still a 15k booster. And on top of that, it helps the power ride line hit that magic number. Just by riding and putting this in the back row, you're already hitting 33. So you're hitting that magic number.
It's really
good. The grade 1 I was talking about that combos decently with the grade 3 promo.
Hajin, right?
Hanjin.
Close enough. Auto rearguard. When an opponent's back row rearguard is retired during your turn, cost, put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your units and it gets power +10 until the end of turn.
The only retire we've seen is in the grade 3 promo. So that's the only way you can actually activate it until we see more cards.
Exactly.
So self-explanatory. All right, Fudge.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, we're going to step away a little bit from the store boys and go into apparently Gacha. So they leaked the actual effect mechanic of the Dragon Strike?
Monster Strike,
thank you. Monster Strike set that's going to be very prevalent, and it's a set order. It's a grade 0 that's called Gachirodra. That is something that is a tongue twister. But this set order, it goes as follows. Act. Order zone cost, rest this card, put the top card of your deck face up in your monster box. We're going to get to the monster box in a bit. Act. Order zone once per fight. If yours and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, Counterblast 2, res this card, put the top 10 cards of your deck face up in your monster box. Then choose up to 3 cards in your monster box and call them to rear guard. So, very interesting effect. Now, let's go real quick into what a monster box is. So, a monster box has the effect of once during your main phase, you may exchange a card in your hand and a card in your monster box with the same grade. So, this is basically just a card that exists. It doesn't have a zone. It doesn't go into the deck or the ride line. It just exists.
Yes.
And there's a little bit more to kind of specify. Sorry, I'm taking all of this. Bless you. We're going to go to the golden egg before we go talk about everything else. Now, the golden egg is your starter, and as you can see, it's a 0 power, no shield, just egg. and has the ability Auto Vanguard. When you stand up, you become a striker. So the second you start the game, you become a striker. When you become a striker, set an order card from your ride deck to your order zone and open the monster box. So the set order we saw is in the ride deck. So this is the only clan nation that has 5 cards in their ride deck.
Yes.
So, and I think you can have more of this set order. We don't know just quite yet inside your main deck. But you start the game with the set order, with the egg, and with the monster box activated and doing its thing. So if we keep reading here, Gacha Lidra is included in players' ride decks, like I mentioned, together with your grade 0 to grade 3 cards. Gacha Lidra is included in your total 50 deck count and is included in the ride deck. So basically, you have 45 cards compared to everybody else who has 46 cards starting the game.
Yes.
Monster Box is a new zone utilized by Gacha Lidra. When a fighter becomes a striker, the Monster Box is open and the cards placed there are placed face up. So like I said, it just kind of appears and it's a mechanic for this specific nation. That's it. That's all we know so far. We haven't seen any card effects. We haven't seen any, things. We did see this picture where you can see the ride line, and apparently each grade is going to have a different color, which is interesting. But for the most part, that's it. So you're basically swapping cards from this extra zone. You're putting cards into the extra zone, so it's kind of a toolbox engine. A proper toolbox engine, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, you get basically what you need when you want it.
Yeah, and then if you really need to, you go Counterblast 2 and go board. Once per fight, but if you really need the board.
Exactly. You're going against jail and you really don't want the cards that are in there and just want to push.
I mean, at that time, it's like, do I want to Counterblast 2, get 3 cards on the board and a lot of stuff in my in my box that I can kind of grab out of? Or do I want to just Counterblast the same 2 and get 4 cards out of jail?
Yeah. I mean, depending on what's in the box.
You're not wrong. Like it is a very situational card deck. So until we see more cards that show up and see what happens, we really don't know what's going to happen with this. And like I said, you can still play the set order in your order zone. And I'm pretty sure you can, if you have 2 of it, you can go rest and do things. But I'm not sure. Like more rules need to come out. And if anybody knows more rules, leave them in the comments. But for the most part, we're going back to Sword Boys. We're not covering it.
No.
Let's see here. Yes, this boy.
Yes. Kiyonsu Samonji.
We'll work with that.
Auto, when his unit is placed on Guardian Circle, cost. Discard a card from your hand, and this unit gets shield plus 10 until the end of battle. So it becomes a 15k shield for discarding a card.
Yeah, I'd rather have a PG.
You're not wrong. I'd rather have this a PG at that point if you're discarding cards.
So unless there's a discard mechanic gonna be introduced,
I mean, I guess you could discard grade 3s.
But at the same time, like why?
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna discard, I'd rather PG it. 15k shield's not gonna matter. Like why would I?
It does say when it's put, so it does mean it can intercept, right? It's grade 2.
You're not wrong. Yeah, it is a grade 2. You could intercept it and ditch a card, but at the same time, you're ditching a card.
You're not wrong.
Now this grade 3, on the other hand, I wish we had that when we recorded.
Oh no.
We got Tonbokiri. It's a grade 3 that has 2 abilities. Continuous rear guard during your turn. This unit gets 2k, making a 15k attacker, which honestly I see as pointless, but alright. And then auto rear guard once per turn. When this unit is rest for a card's cost, stand this unit. Where was this?
Yeah, this is like MVP in the other build.
This basically just gives a Vanguard for 1 Soul Blast a free 5k.
Yeah.
And then for 1 Counterblast and 1 rested unit that's probably going to be in the back row, -5 to your opponent's Vanguard.
Yeah.
Like overall, this is just an amazing card. Jesus, can you imagine if you had 2 of this in the front row?
Yeah.
10k to Vanguard.
Yeah.
So maybe we're going to be doing the other ride line again when we see more support, because honestly, when we did it was a little bit lackluster.
Yes.
And improperly built.
Exactly.
But moving on. Some more talking around with interesting cards.
Yes. Monoyoshi. Sorry.
You're good. I'm so glad I don't got allergies. Sadamune.
Continuous back row rear guard. When this unit's power would be increased by a trigger effect, you double that value.
It only works in the back row though. So if you have it as a booster and you rip a trigger, honestly, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's like, cool. Give it plus 10. You're giving it plus 20 instead.
Yeah, like why would you give 10k to the front row if this is gonna boost anyway?
Yeah, pretty good, in my opinion.
And then another one, grade 1 as well. We got Hyuga Masamune. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, look at the top card of your deck and put it on the top or bottom of your deck. Very simple effect, but very strong.
It's really good for the trial deck build because, you're
already looking and you're doing the stuff.
So if you still don't see what you're looking for, you can just place this down and keep digging.
Yep. So yeah, that's been it for the leaks. Yeah. A lot of sore boys. Next week, let me just find it real quick. Yeah, next week we got V Standard fight, the succeeding MC Showdown, Dr. O versus Takumi Mano. So that's gonna be interesting. We're not gonna cover it, but if anybody wants to watch the stream, hey, something interesting. But for the most part, what we're actually interested for next V time is introducing a ride line from the Touken Ranbu booster set, Mutsu no Kami Yoshiyuki. I have no idea what card that is, but we're another ride line, so we're welcoming it.
Yep.
Maybe a ride line that's gonna persona ride as an effect to make the on hit better. Because a lot of you got to think, the cards that we cover, the triple rares, the 0-1 to 0-4, they're the main cards, the main, bread and butter of this booster set.
Yeah.
And only one of them has really actually proven itself so far. The other one works with the power ride line, resting stuff. The other two are kind of like, And they're supposed to be, key cards. So I think we're just missing the ride line for them.
Yeah, probably.
All right. That's it for the leaks. If you're interested in buying any cards that we just mentioned, go check out Triple Sleeve TCG.
They got great deals on singles, clan splits, and even cases. So go check out the website.
Link will be in the description. All right. Like I said at the beginning, not a lot of news that actually happened. There is a little bit of sad news, unfortunately, that did happen. So if I can scroll up to it, past all these sword boys, I can actually get to it. But for the most part, thank you, Chris, for making this sweet so we can cover it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, due to the new state of emergency, the Bushiroad Card Game Festival 2021 has been canceled. An online version of the festival will still be held much like last year, but this is unfortunate timing. Hopefully we can still see order the exclusive merch online. So, kind of saw that coming, but still was very hopeful that it would happen.
Yeah.
Whatever does happen online, we're always going to try to be a part of it whenever it does happen, or maybe you already did, I don't know, so
yeah,
that says everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, for the most part, that's it, unless you got anything else you want to mention. Fuck allergies.
Fuck allergies. That's all I got to say.
Well, I guess we're going to end this episode here. Thank you everybody so much for watching. This has been episode 104. If you liked the episode, please share with your friends. Comment down below if we said something wrong or if Alex mispronounced any names.
You want a fun drinking game? Just how many times I mispronounced a name?
Or you want a fun drinking game? We'll watch one of the Touken Ranbu videos and drink anytime I say fuck.
That too.
But other than that, if you like what we do here, subscribe to the channel and ring that bell to get notified. Other than that, follow us on Facebook, join our Discord, and come watch us on Twitch.
Yep.
With that, I've been Philip.
And this is Alex.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
Woo! Oh, sorry for another set of claps. I got used to it, all right. Ready?
Yes.